Tonight, we take a look back at our stories from our sustainability team. From how a massive winter storm in Texas can affect Arizona's gas prices to efforts to protect 2 Arizona species before they disappear. While the social revolution behind these stock surges may just be getting started, the numbers are showing us just how risky these investments can become for non-professional investors. Over just the first 4 market days at the beginning of the surge, GameStop's opening and closing prices changed by hundreds of dollars. From Paradise Valley to Sedona to Glendale, neighbors are mad. From noise and trash created by rental homes across Arizona, it has caught the eye of a state senator. He's now proposing a law that would crack down on bad behavior. That's it for this special edition of Cronkite News Tonight. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for Break It Down next. Hosts of short-term rentals like Airbnb could pay fines and even lose the ability to host in Arizona under Senate Bill 1379. Some hosts say imposing restrictions is better than having short-term rentals shut down completely.
We need the right type of balance where it's not overboard and it'll kill off our industry, because the industry is brand new and it's growing. And it's helping Arizona grow.
The fines are pretty aggressive in the bill, and so from a host perspective, it's really going to take preventative measures on our side to make sure that these incidences don't happen, because we don't want to lose our license.
State Senator J.D. Mesnard says the bill would weed out hosts who allow neighborhood disturbances, like party houses.
They can impose fines that are different for short-term rentals than for everybody else. There is a 3 strikes and you're out concept in the bill, that if you are a habitual violator of rules, they can go to the Department of Revenue and you can lose your TPT license.
About half a dozen people spoke to oppose the bill.
I understand that people don't want these homes in their neighborhood, and I can see why. When you've seen one of these party houses in operation, and unfortunately I know exactly what they look like. You'll have cars everywhere, people hanging out everywhere. It's not what the business is about.
Millions of amateur stock investors have logged onto trading apps like Robinhood to drive up stock prices for companies that some think are obsolete, but that others say deserve to stay in business. James Dow was a believer.
It was, in general, like the little guys versus the big guys, and in this case, I'm an amateur investor, so I'm a little guy, so it seemed like a movement I should support.
Reddit users in late January joined an online chat room to bring together millions of everyday people to take on Wall Street and major hedge funds. They invested in stocks that the big guys were betting against. While the social revolution behind these stock surges may just be getting started, the numbers are showing us just how risky these investments can become for non-professional investors. Over just the first 4 market days at the beginning of the surge, GameStop's opening and closing prices changed by hundreds of dollars. Wealth advisor Jay Spector urges caution.
Short selling is really something that should be disciplined for hedge funds and the like. It's a very, very dangerous financial game that is out there.
But the anger over Wall Street is steeped in a growing wealth gap. According to the U.S. Federal Reserve, in 1989, U.S. residents under age 40 accounted for 13% of household wealth, compared to 2020, when millennials and Gen Z under age 40 account for just 5.9%.
Millennials did not create the Great Recession, just like Gen Z didn't, bring COVID into the country. But we now have a responsibility collectively to acknowledge these economic inequalities and come up with a set of responses that can help people increase their kind of financial stability.
Nathan Ricks, a Gen Z investor, has been educating himself on financial trends since he was 16.
I'd say my main reasoning now is not currently trying to grow the wealth I have, since that's really limited, but have practice and understanding while the stakes are much lower, so that once I do get to that point in my life, when I start actually making a stable income and start making money and am in the market, I have experience and I have practice and I'm more aware of all the different things I should be doing, so I can make the right choices there to grow my personal wealth.
Kramer says policies and systems have to change to help every generation build their finances.
We can try to promote more, income and, as I said, infusing cash into these households somehow, either by earnings or other kind of public policy. We can help people build up savings over time by kind of more accessible and responsible financial products.
Kramer and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are working on several congressional proposals. A universal savings account for every U.S. newborn to start their lives with a financial asset. A measure to make sure rent does not eat up most of citizens' salaries. And 3, start workers early in their career on a retirement fund that grows, along with the investor. Investing in the stock market the right way is still considered a smart move.
Investing is a good way to accumulate wealth in the long run. Of course, I'm not like day trading every single day. It's more like swing trading, putting my money in and believing into companies, or putting my belief into companies that I believe will be successful one day.
The protests have quieted for now, but a generation may rebel again. In Phoenix, Emma Parkhouse, Cronkite News.
I am definitely a Ravenclaw through and through because I love an abundance of knowledge.
Gryffindor. I took the quiz on Pottermore and it told me that I was a Gryffindor.
J.K. Rowling's pop culture phenomenon is more than just a book series and movie franchise.
Everyone has that kind of connection to Harry Potter because it was a childhood favorite and then it became like these huge movies. And it's just a part of like nostalgia.
EdSmart, an educational resource organization, is looking to add a little magic and fun for Harry Potter fans during this era of social distancing.
And just like the wand chooses the wizard, EdSmart will be selecting 5 of their applicants to participate in what they're calling a dream job.
The dream job is simple. You'll be watching all 8 Harry Potter films and the 2 prequel films from the Fantastic Beasts series consecutively while sharing your experience live on social media.
You're not going to do it for the money. You're going to do it because you're a Harry Potter fan and you want to like share that experience with the masses. And you think that your comments and your thoughts on it would be something that people would be interested in. So it definitely seems just like a fun thing to do while we're all kind of trapped inside.
If chosen, each Muggle will receive $1,000, a $100 Grubhub gift card, a marathon survival package filled with themed snacks, a Gryffindor Snuggie, a Hogwarts tumbler, and the Blu-ray Harry Potter DVD collection set. While Potter enthusiasts like Muska and Giovanna await their Hogwarts acceptance letters, Albus Dumbledore would remind us that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light. Reporting for Cronkite News, I'm Emma Parkhouse.